We did it! We cleaned her out! Jackpot! Thinking back to those words Lester utters the first time you complete the casino heist, I can't help but wonder if he's referring to the Diamond Casino or my character's bank account. Grand Theft Auto Online has had a long and lucrative existence ever since the first major content updates years ago, and 2019 is most certainly no different. Although there have been several major additions to this game since the PC release in 2015, today I'll be going over Grand Theft Auto Online in the year 2019 in the wake of the Casino Heist update from a few days ago. I'm Unreal, and here's an overview of GTA Online in 2019 from an average gamer, spoilers included. 2019 has been a big year for Grand Theft Auto Online. The multiplayer component of GTA 5, which although initially launched in 2013, is still going strong today and competes very well with other big-name multiplayer games on the market. As great of an achievement as GTA 5 was as a single-player game, GTA Online has taken on a life of its own, and thankfully, Rockstar recognized that early on after the initial success of the Heist update years back. From Heist with Lester Crest to shady organizations, from stolen car rings to biker gangs, from gun running, nightclub managing, to saving the damn world from doomsday, GTA Online has had several major updates that take your character on a lengthy journey from starting out as a 2-bit criminal, meeting up with Lamar on Life Invader, to becoming the most notorious criminal kingpin in all of San Andreas. While I can say with a certain amount of confidence that each update isn't necessarily connected to each other in the storyline, each one of them has been meaningful to the player both in the continuation of his or her story, and with a never-ending pursuit of making as much dirty, ill-gotten blood money as possible to spend on fancy houses, exotic cars, a virtual toy chest full of military vehicles, and of course, guns. Lots and lots of guns. This year, the focus has been on the Diamond Resort and Casino. Located between Mirror Park and Vinewood, the Diamond Casino was originally a dumpy, drab building with a sign outside looking like it was made in the 1970s and a big opening soon banner on the front. It sat there for years, completely unused. Then, without warning, an update to the game showed signs of life to players that passed by. Signs of construction on the outside stirred rumors, and sure enough, it was confirmed by Rockstar that a new business would be opening in Los Santos. Once launched, the Diamond turned out to be something that added a new dynamic to the game, gambling, and rehashing an old dynamic, showing off. The casino itself is fully functional, featuring a valet that everybody and their mother beats up for fun, and this being Grand Theft Auto, why the hell not? An underground parking garage, fully operational slot machines, card games, bars, a clothing store, a racetrack, a new currency in the form of casino chips, and penthouses available for purchase, complete with access to a helipad and a roof terrace for, quote, socializing, aka terrorizing other players from up above, or being terrorized yourself by even higher up above, i.e. the Oppressor Mark II. When entering the casino, you're immediately greeted by a hospitality manager who lays out the basics of what you can do there and what you're more or less supposed to buy. Now, can you use this casino without buying an expensive penthouse that costs millions of dollars? Absolutely, and that's perhaps one of the best parts about the update from the perspective of new players. Not only that, but you are allowed to hop in casino missions with people that do have the money to buy their way into a nice penthouse. As far as the penthouse itself is concerned, you may be asking, what does it actually do for you? Well, really, nothing. It's a very fancy top-floor residence you can deck out with all sorts of abstract art, lavish styling options, open bars, and private card dealers. It's a great digital sock to stuff your pants with and show other players what your 1,000+ hours of playtime has earned you. Bragging rights. Lots of bragging rights. This posh pad also would not be complete without new and equally expensive supercars to ride around in, provided you don't get blown up by flying motorcycles or levitating DeLoreans as soon as you leave the garage. Once you're done messing around with all the new toys, you quickly discover through the new quest line that not all is as it should be in your new personal Vegas. Nope, as it turns out, the brand new casino is at risk of going bust already. Now this, of course, is the same casino that's constantly packed with people blowing their 401ks and children's college funds, selling margin-rich alcohol and clothing on the main floor, and gladly taking $7 million of your money for a new penthouse, which, by the way, does not include any kind of ownership stake in the casino, like you would expect, based on how other businesses in GTA Online work. And after giving them $7 million+ and possibly dumping more money into the casino by gambling there yourself, and getting nothing but a virtual codpiece in return, they now want your help. Well, alright, why the hell not? You've already done everything else in this game, right? Maybe some old familiar faces will return. Oh hey, it's the Triad kid from the single-player story. Just as wacky and drunk off his ass as I remember him being 4 years ago. What's he doing here in my brand new penthouse that I paid $7 million for? Oh, he's a financial backer? Well, at least you don't have to worry about anybody muscling a Triad out. What's that? Some oil tycoon hillbilly is muscling out the Triad, and the Triad needs help from a single, anonymous American criminal? Okay, sure. Hey, look, it's Brucey. Is he gonna help me? No, he's just gonna make a bunch of cameos and cutscenes? Well, maybe it's for the better since he's professionally written to get on your nerves. Anyway, as you complete the story missions, you're treated to the introduction of a few new characters central to the casino storyline. Sadly, none of which are mob figures reminiscent of the ones from the 1995 Martin Scorsese movie Casino. They're largely forgettable other than Miss Baker, who is notable for being the first NPC in this game that doesn't suffer from Elder Scrolls syndrome, aka looking like a total dog. So props to the graphic designers here. As the initial release missions are completed, you're not vastly wealthier than when you started, and you don't own anything new that you didn't own before after making the penthouse purchase, like a piece of the casino after all of your hard work to keep it up and running. And you don't really feel like you've accomplished much as a result. You do get to unlock some missions that you may call up Miss Baker for, but those don't net you a considerable amount of money considering how much time they take up in comparison to something like the CEO mission Headhunter, or the jewelry store robbery launched from the Terabyte vehicle. Now I'll concede that some of them can be a little fun and different from what you're used to, but once you've played through a bunch of them, you'll want to get back to earning money to recoup everything that you spent buying the penthouse. While the update was certainly a neat addition to the game, it didn't really have any long-lasting replayability because none of the stuff you can repeat nets you good income. It wasn't a set of heists like the first major content update, nor was it a business that makes you passive income through customer numbers and occasional maintenance missions like you'd find while running a nightclub. It felt as though it was incomplete. And sure enough, much later on, there was word that there would be a part 2 to the casino update, the Casino Heist. Once launch day came, players were instructed to go meet Lester in Mirror Park, where the circumstances of why you're going to be robbing a casino you likely gamble in, invested $7 million in, and even perform work for on the side as desired. The motive given is plausible, I guess, since the casino ends up falling under new ownership through shady circumstances once the original financial backers pull out. But if there's so much hatred for the new suits running the show upstairs, why not just take them out and claim the casino for yourself? And for that matter, what does Miss Baker have to say about any of this? As it turns out, nothing, apparently. Lester meets with you as a result of triad meddling, this time by a young lady related to the original Asian playboy who was, quote, overseeing financial interests in the casino. After being browbeaten into starting what is supposed to be a bigger and more difficult heist than even the Union Depository job in the single-player campaign, you are once again contacted by Lester, who says you need yet another front property to plan your heists. Why? Why do I need to buy something else? I already have a heist planning room in my house that I purchased years ago. What's wrong with that area? Or how about the almost completely disused government facility we had to buy for the Doomsday heist with all kinds of open space in it? Or what about the almost completely disused super yacht that has a missile air defense system? And let's not ignore the fact that every time we have to buy something new, daily rent and staff pay goes along with it, meaning the money you earn through your hard work isn't what it was prior to the new updates. Alright, fine. Well, what's the new property going to be? Is it at least something cool, like maybe a grungy dive bar that you turn into a cool hangout spot for the people of Los Santos and earns you some cash? Or maybe like the back of a gun shop or a clothing store with a planning room? Or what about another creepy warehouse like the one Lester used to set up heists during the single-player campaign? No, it's an arcade. An arcade. Great. Well, on the plus side, at least the video game nerd in me can be realized inside the video game I'm already playing. Hey, yo, dog, I heard you like games, so we put a game in your game so you can play while you play. Ha ha ha. And maybe it can make me some passive money, like the nightclub, or have some kind of weird sale missions that can make me chunks of cash every now and then based on some other metric. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And once again, these new properties don't come cheap. I spent something to the tune of about $8 million to purchase a conveniently located arcade and equip it with everything. Now, I believe the most expensive one is in Vinewood, but I bought the second most expensive one closer to Del Perro Beach and the Maze Bank West building, since it's near some other things that I already own. There are multiple arcade games you can buy for your business, and the more you have, the more money the arcade generates for you. And the games are also supposed to be 100% playable. I really don't care. I'm not there to go play mini games. I'm there to play Grand Theft Auto. However, the money it generates is a slap in the face. The nightclub, with full popularity, generates $10,000 every in-game day. The arcade generates less than $4,000 for me thus far. This is from a fully functioning, refurbished, redesigned, adult-themed arcade with a full bar and restaurant. And this place doesn't even make $4,000 per day. If a place like Dave & Buster's made less than $4,000 in a day on average, I'd imagine that they'd go out of business in a hurry. The least Rockstar could do is buff the money on both the nightclub and the arcade to the point where it isn't insulting, considering the investment you have to make. Push the daily earnings to $10,000 for the arcade and $20,000 for the nightclub, and then give us some other stuff to do with the arcade. And I guess I should clarify, the arcade does serve as more than just a place where around a half dozen NPCs stand around and stare at each other near Jimmy DeSanta and the arcade manager. Downstairs in the basement, there's a planning room, a large computer system which you can use to manage your other businesses from in a more effective manner than you already can from the Terabyte, a multi-user drone system, a garage, a gun workshop, and a bunch of space to store all the stuff that you're going to need for the heist. On the note of the giant computer system you can use to manage your other businesses, I'd consider this to be what the Terabyte should have been, much like the Terabyte is what the Mobile Operations Center should have been. Even still, the system isn't perfect, and you're still, quote, hacking into computers that you already own and you have the login credentials for, so why you have to hack into your own system, I don't know. Once all the business setup missions are done, you're free to conduct all the heist setup work like you would for any others. With this heist, all setup work can be done solo if you have the means to do so, which is nice since a lot of the random pickup players you ask to come on the heist with you have absolutely zero interest in helping you with the setup work in any way. They just want the payoff at the end. Now, you have a choice of how much work you do. The more you prepare, the smoother the heist will go, very similar to the way you would hire AI partners in this heist and other heists, being able to choose based on quality versus cost, affecting the outcome of the heist itself. Once everything is set up, the big day is upon us, and although this is something I should in theory be excited for, I kind of already had a feeling that this wasn't going to be as cool as the Union Depository heist, and sure enough, it wasn't. The first run of this heist is sponsored by the Triad, so there is no setup cost this time around. As a result, I spent money on the best AI partners and equipment possible and did all available setup work by myself prior to launching the heist. When I finally launched the heist, I brought along 2 people I've played with before on occasion, and a random pickup player. Now, the heist can be done with as few as 2 people, provided the setup work is done the right way, and you can likely get away with that. One of our 4 disconnected immediately, so we conducted the heist with 3 people, although in my experience, we really did it with 1. I say that because neither of the 2 people with me on the heist actually took any money. Now, granted, neither of them had done the heist before, but neither did I, and I grabbed stacks of nearby cash once inside the vault, and I even drilled open some safe deposit boxes. Why did I do this, or how did I know how to do this? It's because the game told me to. All in all, I collected just over $800,000 in a job where the haul should have been over $2 million. Each time you get shot, you lose money, and of course I gave my partners the standard 15% split and spared no expense with high-quality NPC partners and equipment to make everything go smoothly. And indeed, almost everything went smoothly, but as a result of this debacle of a heist, I only netted about $250,000 after spending an investment of about $8 million. Oh, and after I loaded back into the game world once the heist was over, all of my pistol ammo mysteriously disappeared. So I had to spend a bunch of money buying something I lost for no apparent reason due to what is likely a nasty glitch. The storyline does have a happy ending, and you'll likely crack a smile if you're a fan of the character Lester, but beyond that, it's pretty throwaway due to how short it is and how little sense the premise of it made to begin with. Now, the heist is replayable, thankfully, otherwise I probably would have considered wrapping the braided mouse cable I have around my neck and strangling myself with it. But it's not going to get you the kind of money something like the Doomsday heist would, or even by simply running a few businesses efficiently. And while there are multiple ways to conduct a heist, you're going to run out of different methods eventually. Now, before I sign off, I would like to state for the record that I'm not going to sit here and take a big dump on everything Rockstar has given us with this free update this year. They've introduced a lot of stuff, all things considered, and some of it's pretty neat, and if you're about being a show-off, which usually people with a ton of money are, then it's a great platform to do that with. But if you take a step back and look at what you're really getting for all of the millions of dollars you invest, it's pretty much cosmetic bragging rights and nothing more. And if any of you are looking for substance or replayability, you're not going to find it here. Thumbs in the middle, leaning up. Grand Theft Auto Online is nothing short of a brilliant multiplayer experience as a total package, but this latest update is not quite what I had hoped it would be. That being said, 2020 is a new year, and Rockstar hasn't showed any signs of disinterest in the multiplayer component of one of the most important games they've ever made, so like everybody else, I'll be looking forward to the next content update. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to help with new content. Until next time, I'm Unreal, and you've just watched a review from an average gamer.